one altered document, one explosive eviction dispute, and one courtroom discovery that changes everything. What happens when a judge personally verifies the evidence and discovers that the numbers don't match? And when a second case takes an equally bizarre turn? The courtroom becomes a battle over credibility, responsibility, and the truth. Judge Judy Scheindlin begins by making a call to the company that handled a job for MNO Incorporated back in July 1997. She explains that she is reviewing a document submitted in court, but the amount written on the invoice is difficult to make out. She asks the company to locate the original record and confirm the exact cost of the work. The job was for MNO Incorporated, Mario Plaza, Suite 102, and the payment was reportedly made on July 30, 1997. After checking their records, the company confirms the original amount. Judge Judy asks again to make absolutely certain that the figure is correct, and the answer remains the same. The case involves mall owner Ori Fogel, who is suing liquor store owner Salah Fahim, accusing him of leaving the store damaged after being evicted. But while examining the evidence, Judge Judy uncovers something far more serious. The invoice presented to the court shows a charge of $2,360, while the company that performed the work confirms that the original bill was only $1,360. That means an additional $1,000 appears to have been added to the document. Judge Judy immediately confronts the plaintiff about the discrepancy. She explains that she personally contacted the company, located the original bill, and confirmed the correct amount twice. Fahim tries to interrupt, but Judge Judy shuts him down and makes it clear that she is speaking. The evidence has already been independently verified, and there is little room left for argument. She tells the plaintiff that she cannot understand why anyone would think they could walk into her courtroom and submit an altered document while seeking money from the other party. Judge Judy then addresses the condition of the property. She says she has no doubt that Fahim left the store in terrible shape after leaving the premises. However, she also has no doubt that the plaintiff submitted an altered document in an attempt to support his claim. Because the evidence presented to the court was manipulated, Judge Judy decides that the lawsuit cannot stand. She dismisses Fogel's entire case, and the parties are ordered to leave the courtroom. The courtroom then moves to a completely different dispute involving Ms. Calloway and her former boyfriend. Calloway claims that the two lived together, but she says the relationship eventually became abusive and hostile. After obtaining a restraining order, she had him removed from the residence. She is now seeking money for rent, damaged belongings, and a television she says he took from her home. Her former boyfriend has filed a counterclaim, arguing that Calloway falsely reported him to police and caused him to spend a night in jail before the charges were eventually dropped. Judge Judy first establishes when the couple lived together. Calloway explains that although he had been staying with her previously, he was officially placed on the lease beginning October 1st. He remained in the home through October, November, December, and part of January. Their living arrangement ended on January 22nd, when a restraining order was granted and police escorted him out of the property. The judge asks about the rent and whether he contributed financially. Calloway says she did not pay anything herself during October, because she was using money from her disability benefits that she had saved. Her former boyfriend claims that he was working in roofing and construction, and that whatever money he earned went toward helping her. He also says he performed maintenance work for the landlord in exchange for rent reductions. But when Judge Judy asks how much credit he actually received, he can only point to small amounts, including $25 on one occasion and $50 on another. Judge Judy then asks Calloway about her employment and income. She explains that she was receiving disability payments and was not currently working. The judge asks how long she had been receiving those benefits, and Calloway says it had been a couple of years. Judge Judy then points out that if she was suffering from serious migraines, remaining in an abusive relationship certainly wasn't helping the situation. Calloway agrees with the judge's observation. The conversation shifts to the alleged property damage. Calloway claims that her former boyfriend lost her cell phone after getting drunk and sleeping in a doghouse. She also accuses him of damaging her purse and other belongings inside the apartment. Judge Judy struggles to understand the explanation and asks the defendant to clarify what happened. The unusual story about the doghouse gets attention, but but the judge is focused on determining exactly what property was damaged and whether Calloway can prove its value. Calloway also claims that her television was taken when police removed her former boyfriend from the home. She says he had purchased the television but gave it to her as a gift, describing it as a token toward rent. Judge Judy asks when the television was purchased and seeks details proving that it was actually given to Calloway. The answers remain vague, and there is not enough convincing evidence to establish her ownership claim. Judge Judy therefore dismisses the lawsuit. The judge then turns to the former boyfriend's counterclaim. He says Calloway had him arrested for domestic violence, and that he spent the night in jail before the charges were dropped. Judge Judy asks him to explain what happened and, more importantly, why he believed he had been arrested. He describes going out on New Year's Eve with Calloway, her mother, and her mother's boyfriend. They stopped at a bar, where everyone had drinks, and he admits consuming several alcoholic beverages. Judge Judy doesn't want a long story about the night. She wants a direct answer. Did he put his hands on Calloway or damage her property? After some hesitation, he admits that he broke her purse. That admission changes the situation immediately. Judge Judy tells him that if he damaged her property, Calloway had a legitimate reason to contact the police. His claim that the arrest was completely unjustified therefore falls apart. With that, Judge Judy dismisses the counterclaim as well. Neither side receives the outcome they wanted, and both lawsuits are finished. The courtroom closes with a simple but powerful lesson. Evidence matters, credibility matters, and once a judge discovers that the facts don't support your story, there may be nowhere left to hide. The gavel comes down, and the parties are excused.